Good morning.
Good morning.
Hashem, we continue TMT South. There's Hashem. The topic of coming. We have to be a little quieter today because they're being davening right now behind us. We go late minyan. We're stark. We go to the early movies. Kinelach from unnamed yeshiva. Daven later. But just a quick point. Tonight is Lag BaOmer. It's the third day that I'm real to say it right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And tonight is Lag BaOmer. What does everybody do Lag BaOmer?
Fly to New York.
They fly to New York, exactly right, to be able to go light fires, and fires. So, as I mentioned maybe a million times, nobody ever had any fires when I was younger. Every single yeshiva has fires nowadays. Even the ohrshlomo, it's a little different. What's shot ohrshlomo does not have a huge bonfire.
Doing it this year?
So first of all,
With a warm yeshiva to begin with.
Because we're the warmest yeshiva in Brooklyn. Brooklyn's the warmest yeshiva, and also on the fire of ohrshlomo, we have ohrshlomo.
You have a bonfire 24/7.
And also, I'm going to tell you a Gemara, one of the most famous Gemaras about Rebbi Shimon, and you tell me if you think we should have a bonfire. The Gemara says in Maseches Brachos, the most famous Gemara about Rebbi Shimon, more famous than all the cave Gemaras. This is it. Says the Gemara that the pasuk in the Torah in Kriya Shema we say Asafta diganecha, that you will gather up your grain. And then another pasuk says, "La yomush sefer haTorah zaypicha." You may never give up the Torah. In Sefer Yeshua, never stop learning Torah, even for a second. There's a contradiction. Either you're going to go out and work and pick up your grain, or you're going to go and learn Torah every single day.
Why is it a contradiction?
Because one of them says learn all the time.
All the time.
One says the Gemara Yachol Tvarim Kiksavim. She take everything literally. Kiksavim. Talmudim v'Safta Gnecha Hanhag Bahen Min Derech Eretz. Sefer Bishmol. So Bishmol says that when it comes to learning Torah, you're supposed to be, so to speak, normal about it. That when the time comes for a person to be able to, that needs to get a parnasa, to be able to make some money. So then at that point we say, you got to be normal, so to speak, and go get some green. That's what Rebbi Shimon says. Rebbi Shimon says, you can tell me. When the plowing season comes, people are going to plow. In the planting season, people are going to plant. The reaping season, people are going to reap. The threshing season, people are going to thresh. And then people are going to. Actually, the last one doesn't say V'zayir b'shas riyah, but Zayir. Then you're going to do winnowing in the time of wind. People are going to be busy with every season all the time. What's going to happen? They're never going to get to learn. The passing around there is telling you that if the Jewish people are doing what the Yibishter wants totally, like it says, Malachtan nasa de'achem, then you'll be kind of the passing of you'll never stop learning for a second. Right? That the Goyim will take care of all of your stuff, and they'll be your slaves, and they'll take care of everything, no problem. When the Jewish people are not perfect, then you'll have to take care of your own job. You'll have to go to work. That's what the pasuk means. That you're going to get your own grain. That pasuk in Kriya Shema is talking about the Jewish people are not perfect. Then you have to do your own work. But any other time, if the Jewish people are perfect, they're super steiging, they're mimikayim layomish sefer haTorah zaypicha, so then you don't have to do any work. You hear that? Mm-hmm. So that's what Rebbi Shimon said. Then Abaye finishes the story. See that machlekes. Rebbi Shimon says, work. No, only learn. If you're not learning so well, network people are going to have to end up doing a little work. But says Rebbi Shimon, you got to work. You got to support yourself. Says the Gemara, Omer Abaye Harbi also Rebbi Shimon. A lot of people did what Rebbi Shimon said. The also the other, and they were successful, so to speak. Rebbi Shimon Nechai, the also the other. People did like Rebbi Shimon Nechai, and they were not successful. They did like Rebbi Shimon Nechai, they're not successful. And the Gemara goes on. But the point is, sounds like Rebbi Shimon's right. It reminds me of a story. The Gemara doesn't say Paskin like Rebbi Shimon Nechai or Paskin like Rebbi Shimon. I'll tell you a quick story. I'm going to tell a story before. Chacham Uvadia once met a Rav in Brooklyn. His name is Rabbi Shelby. I looked at the story. I think I went to yeshiva with one of his sons, Rabbi Shelby. I heard this from one of the guys in my carpool. And this Rabbi Shelby was talking to Chacham Uvadia. And Chacham Uvadia said, "What do you do?" So he said that I travel back and forth a lot. So Chacham Uvadia said, "Do you drive the car?" He said, "No, I don't drive the car." Somebody else drives. Yeah. So you learn while you're driving? So he says, "No." So he says, "What do you mean? Why are you not learning while you're driving?" He said, "I can't look into a safe while I'm driving. I get very nauseous." Yeah, I get very nauseous. So Chacham Uvadia says, "Me too." So, okay, you get nauseous. No, I mean, the first time I did it, I was so nauseous I threw up. Second time I did it, I was so nauseous I threw up. Third time, it got a little better. And now I learn while someone drives with me. So he says to this Rebbi Shimon, why are you not learning when you're driving? You'll throw up a few times. And then you'll let them shine. The interesting thing in this Gemara is that it didn't say that, it says again, people shot like Rebbi Shimon, they weren't successful. Right? I don't know if they weren't successful. Maybe they could make the money. Maybe they felt like they couldn't keep at it. But it doesn't say they stopped. It doesn't say V'lay also be yelled at, and therefore they're like, okay, let's do like a Rebbi Shimon. They tried to be like Rebbi Shimon. They want to have big sheifas, they have big plans. They want to be like Rebbi Shimon, never stopping to learn even for a second. Not going to a fire, and not going to, like I said, when I was younger, what they used to do, and by Teres Moshe, there were Neturei Karta kids there, not the bad Neturei Karta, the other Neturei Karta, the good Neturei Karta, so to speak. But they used to take Israeli flags and throw it into the fire. That was like their big thing. Oh, we're going to make a huge bonfire. The kids work on the bonfire night to show off for like months. Huge. Adults are not part of it. And then the best part is when they get their Israeli flag and they throw it right into the fire and they dance around it and into that part. But
That's crazy.
Okay, it is what it is. Everyone has their thing. But the point of it all is that when a person's going to this fire and they're wondering, how come I never heard of fires happening all the time? At least by the Litvaks, never heard of these big fires all the time. It's because the Litvaks had what they have. Ohrshlomo, the ohrsameach, the ohr that had that fire. I don't need to go to some fire over there, like the very famous store with the Acher. You know the store of the Acher? Elisha ben Avuya, very quick. Elisha ben Avuya, whenever he got older, he became an Acher. He became an off. So what's the story? So the story is, that's where it says, Rashi also knows there. But the story is that by his bris, they had the big Gedalim came to his bris. I think Rabbi Elazar and Yeshua came to his bris. They came to his bris and they were learning, and when they were learning, just by learning, a huge fire enveloped them, totally surrounding them. Actually, more says they were learning Tanakh, I think, but still. But a huge fire enveloped them. And the father of Acher said, one day I want my son to be like that, to be able to make fires when he learns. The wrong part. He didn't focus on the right thing. But to be able to make that fire, the point is, the fire of Torah is a very, very real fire. Can I say one more story?
Yeah.
Another story. This is an amazing story on October 7th. Maybe you heard of it, maybe you didn't. There are a lot of stories where Arabs were coming in and they were trying to destroy and damage things, and they didn't. So there was a huge yeshiva there. The yeshiva of Tifrach wasn't attacked at all. Packed 1,000 people, something like that. And they asked the Arab, they captured one of these guys. They asked him, "What's the shot? He didn't burn it down. He didn't destroy it. He didn't kill everybody inside." So they said, because when we came there, the building was on fire. Because the building was on fire, we don't need to go inside. Yes? When they came there, the building was on fire. The building wasn't on fire. So what happened? So I don't know who gave this shot, but he said Hashem made a mace. You know what the mace was? Not that he made it look like the building was on fire.
But they could see the fire.
They saw the fire of Torah. That's exactly right. They saw the fire of Torah. Hashem opened up their eyes from like Bilam's donkey. He opened up their eyes for a second. They saw the fire of Torah, and they were all totally saved. That's what Torah is every single time.
They were learning
right there. They were learning. They were dancing. So was Torah. But the point is that's what we're talking about. The fire. I'm not saying nobody should go to any fires, but if you want to know why people haven't gone to fires throughout the years, is because the most powerful fire is this grace of Allah. Have a wonderful day.